afternoon, Phillies fans, and welcome back to the Fighting's Final here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network with your boy Matty B on the call in for Pat Bernard. And yeah, man, 4-1 Phillies victory. Key victory by the Fighting Phillies today, coming back after a listless last 3 games. I am going to throw in the one Brave win as a game that wasn't really that good, but they did well today. A team effort, 4-1 winners, ending the 2-game winning streak, or ending the 2-game losing streak, and getting back in the W column for win number 9 now on the season. And welcome to the program, everybody. I hope you're having a great Saturday afternoon. Star Wars 99 is going to get us started off tonight. Good small ball. Bowman Stott got hits. Bowman Stott did get hits. Bowman, you know what? Listen, Stott's been hitting. What was it, 2 for 4 yesterday? Don't like him in the leadoff spot. Not even a little bit. And for those of you keeping track at home, now the leadoff tracker now stands as follows for the season. Kyle Schwarber has led off 9 times. Trey Turner has led off 3 times. And now Bryson Stott has led off twice as the carousel of leadoff hitters continues through 2025. I don't like Stott in the leadoff spot, but yeah, I mean, he's got 3 hits up there, and he was a spark plug today. As far as Bohm, yeah, he got a hit. And didn't he get a walk too? Didn't Bohm get on base twice today? I mean, is it stop the press this time? Yes, Bohm got on base twice today. A walk and a hit, but he also struck out twice. So, I mean, oh no, he didn't get a walk. He got a hit. He got a hit and he struck out twice. So it was Marsh who got the walk. So both Marsh and Bohm got on base. I don't care, man. I don't care. It's done. It's over. Pull the plug. But the Phillies did a team win today. You know, defense. Chris Sanchez was good. Again, not a gem, not an ace. He was a little bit better than effective. He only had a couple strikeouts, but he did, induce a lot of ground ball hits or ground ball outs. So 7 on the game, and 5 of those 7 were double plays turned by the Phillies defense. Absolutely positive signs for this ball club, especially what they've been dealing with over the last few days. So, yeah, it was a team win today. Kepler, Marsh, Bohm all need some time off to get this mental block fixed that is hurting their hitting. So, Mike, again, man, here's the thing. These are Major League Baseball players. The last time I friggin' checked, if you can't hack it, then there's got to be somebody else behind you that's going to get the opportunity to hack it, right? Listen, if you want to give them time off, that's fine, but not on our dime. I don't want them having time off on the Phillies or the Phillies fans' dime. Send them to Lehigh Valley or cut them or trade them. None of this. Let's make sure that the baseball players' minds are set right. They play a game for millions of freaking dollars. If they're not effective at that game, if they're having problems, then take them out of the lineup. Do something else with them. I'm not. This is a team that's allegedly a World Series contender. And now we're talking about 1, 2, 3 batters within our lineup that need some mental time off. That's not right. That's not right. And I'm not saying you're wrong about it, but that approach is wrong. Either they're hacking it or they're not hacking it. And right now, at least 2 of them are not hacking it. Kepler, I think he'll be fine. But 2 of them are not hacking it. Marsh is never going to be more than the guy that the Phillies missed out on trading Logan O'Hoppe for. That's all Marsh will be. He'll be synonymous. He's the new, what was the trade that really set me off down the wrong road with the Phillies as a young man? It was the Larry Boa, wasn't the Ryan Sandberg trade. The Ryan Sandberg to the Cubs trade. That is what Brandon Marsh is now. Brandon Marsh is the Manny Trio, Larry Boa for Ryan Sandberg trade. All right, for me, and it's sad. It's sad that there's a generation of Phillies fans that are now going to have to grow up in that shadow, like I had to grow up with Ryan Sandberg having a Hall of Fame career for the Chicago Cubs coming out of the Phillies system. Brandon Marsh is nothing but a hack. He's a bench guy. He's a tweener. He's a fringe guy. I'm done with the Brandon Marsh nonsense. Sit his ass down. No, don't sit his ass down. DFA his ass or trade him. Get him the hell out of my lineup. I'm done. Call him Carl Crawford. Justin Crawford, come on up, and it's your turn next. Same thing with Bohm. I'm tired of the Bohm nonsense too. I'm tired with a man who's 29 years old. Is that how Bohm is? Well, you know what I was doing when I was 29 years old? I was dodging friggin' death. I was in combat when I was 29 years old, and I handled it a little bit more effectively than Alec Bohm is handling playing at the major league level. He doesn't have it between the ears. That's okay. Ship him on down the road. Next up, Otto Kemp. Come on up here and give us a shot. I'm not playing games anymore with these athletes who need time off to get themselves reset. Screw the reset. They play a game for a living. Do your job or sit the hell down, back the hell up, and let somebody else do it. So, but as Kepler goes, yeah, I'm gonna give him a pass on that for that one. It was a really good win. Goddamn, Michael Kaepernick setting me off already, man. Good God, I just sat down. It was a great win, Joe. And Joe, how you doing? It was a great win. I like to see Kirkering in the eighth. Michael, funny that you mentioned that. Some of the problems that we've been talking about, the bullpen issues, it is nice to see Kirkering kind of in that high leverage late inning situation where he belongs. I would like to see a role, and maybe he's a setup guy to the Alvarado closer. I can live with that 100%. And I don't also buy into this bullpen's getting blown out, 14 games into the season. You have 8 pitchers in your bullpen, or is it 7? 7 or 8 of them. I think you'll be okay. And if everyone's only pitching 1 inning, what are you talking about getting blown out? And Marsh did lay down the sack bunt. Small ball, Star Wars 99, small ball. All 4 runs came with 2 outs, to include the game winner in the first inning with the Castellanos. Was it a double, knocking in 2 runs, knocking in Harper and Schwarber? I read something somewhere that the Phillies really at this point should take everything they can do to protect Schwarber and Harper inside that lineup. And I agree with that. Until this other mess works itself out, until we figure out what we are doing with Brandon Marsh and what we are going to do with Alec Bohm, we figure out Nick Castellanos' role, and maybe cleanup is his role. I don't know. But until we figure out this lineup, Rob Thompson's got no other choice, in my opinion, but to center everything around protecting Marsh or protecting Harper and Schwarber in that lineup. You saw the first 2 outs of the game get recorded quite quickly, and then they had the little 2-out rally there with Schwarber and Harper leading the way, and then Castellanos cleans it up. 2 for 10, though, with runners in scoring position today. That's not good. Their batting average now for the season is down to 214 with runners in scoring position. That is not good. There is still some work, a lot of work that needs to be done there. But I think a good start would be to make sure you do everything you possibly can to protect Harper and Schwarber inside your lineup, and then let everything else hopefully grow out from there. And I do agree with that philosophy. And that means Harper's batting third. That's the only way you're going to be able to do that. Harper's got to bat third, right? Is that the only way you can protect him? And Castellanos was 3 for 4 today. We'll get into the box score here in a second. Do the Phillies have a Sanchez and Luzardo, 2 of the top lefties in MLB? Let's pump the brakes on that. Chris Sanchez was effective, but he labored. 6 innings, 6 1/3, 90 pitches? Or was it 6 1/3 and 6 1/3 and 95 pitches? 25 years ago, that was a labored effort. He was effective. I'll give him that. He was effective / good. And he did get a lot of ground ball outs. You definitely want to see that. But let's stop with this stuff, all right? Luzardo pitched okay last time out, right? Sanchez pitched good today. But 95 pitches in 6 1/3, last time I checked, that was labored. Absolutely. And don't give me this new baseball crap either. That's labored. 95 pitches in 6 1/3. It was good. It was good. I'll take it. Could go 5 minutes without mentioning. You're damn right. Until we can rectify the Brandon Marsh trade, Al, I'm going to talk Logan O'Hoppe till I die. I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry. We got taken to the cleaners by the California Angels on that deal. Taken to the cleaners and cleaned the hell out on the Logan O'Hoppe Brandon Marsh deal. And yes, I am going to go as far as to say that as the annals of baseball history begin to develop in the future, we're going to look upon that trade just same way as my generation looked upon the Ryan Sandberg trade to the Cubs. I'm telling you, I have a feeling in my gut that's what we're going to see. Love how Turner robbed. Yeah, listen, there was leather being flashed all over the place. Arnado also robbed. Who was it coming down the line there late in the game? That amazing play on third base. And yeah, today was a defensive day. A lot of good defense by the Phillies. 5 double plays. That's impressive. I don't care who you are or what you come for. That's impressive. 5 double plays induced by the Phillies in this game. So absolutely 100%. 1-0 Sanchez. Is that what his record? He's only 1-0. Ricky, how you doing, man? It was a bad trade, I agree, but you can't go and fix it. Yeah, I know that. I could just harp on it and just be annoying about it and make sure everybody knows how bad of a trade it was. Well, I mean, I'm from Philadelphia. What else should I do? I know we can't fix it, but we can get our pound of flesh, right? We can exact our revenge upon the person who inflicted that trade. And then tomorrow night on the final word, we're going to find out how good Dave Dombrowski really is, as I am going to actually grade his performance as our vice president of baseball operations. Because right now, folks, Dave Dombrowski's seat should be as equally as hot as Rob Thompson's. Pete Alonso, 4 homers, 18 RBIs. I mean, Harper on the left and Alonso on first would be protecting Harper and Schwarber. I guess Harper's voice means nothing, and we can get. Well, I mean, as far as Big Al's mentality goes, Mike, you just got to get over that. You know, they didn't go out and get him. I mean, I would have loved it too, absolutely. And I'm torn about that. I'm sure Harper wasn't ready to pony up any of his money, maybe to try to make it a little bit more effective. I know he volunteered to go play the outfield, but did he also volunteer to take a pay cut in order to help sign Alonso? I mean, Middleton's got deep pockets. Steve Cohen, is that the guy's name out in New York? It's got deep pockets, but there's a penalty and a price to pay for those deep pockets. And you can't, all you got to do is look as far as this year's draft. The Chicago White Sox, who lost 157 games last year, don't have a first round pick until the bottom end of don't have a first round pick until the Group B part of the draft, because they violated the luxury tax at some point. All right. That's the penalty you pay. And I'm sorry. I get it, what you're saying, but Harper can be all buddy and what the JT stuff, sign him and all that. Yeah. Hey man. Hey, why don't you help out there, Harp? Why don't you kick in a little extra money? You know, maybe that extra money you're making up those TikTok videos, why don't you kick that in for us to help me out sign Alonso? I understand what you're saying, Michael, and I agree. I was all about maybe going out and getting Alonso too. I mean, he sat around for God knows forever as a free agent. They might have been able to try to get that, but it didn't happen. And as Big Al will tell you, get over it, man. You can't redo that. I agree with you, though. It would have been nice. That you're damn right that would have been protection in that lineup. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine Turner 2, Harper 3, Schwarber 4, Alonso 5? I mean, come on, man. That's murderer's row to go through for opposing pitchers. Absolutely 100% agree. I was scared when Romano came in. Pitched well. He maybe turned a corner. Wasn't there some mechanical work they did with them, and they allegedly increases velocity by 3 miles an hour? Well, we got to get over a hobby traders. Well, no, you got to get over the Alonso thing too. I mean, we can play this game all damn day, but why should we? That's what we do until we can start hanging commissioners' trophies on our mantle. Other than 2 in 141 plus years, I'm not going to get over it. I'm going to harp on it. I'm going to be annoying about it because it's every generation. It's the same thing. Every year, it's the same thing. All right. And until we have the damn hardware to back it up, I'm going to friggin' harp on it, man. Logan O'Hoppe, Brandon Marsh might go down as one of the top 5 worst trades in Phillies history when it's all said and done with. Brandon Marsh is a scrub. It's terrible. Time to go and get rid of him. DFA him. If you can't get anything for him and he doesn't have any options, which I probably need to look at if he does or doesn't. If he has options, send his ass to Lehigh. Matter of fact, no, send him to Reading. No, you know what? No, send him to Jersey. No, send his ass to Clearwater and let him work his way right back up again. Step by step, year by year, until he works his way back up to the major leagues and figures out how to hit left-hand pitching. Tired of it, man. Mental break, mental checkpoint. Get the hell out of here. He's a Major League Baseball player playing a kid's game. Not too hard. Hit ball, catch ball, throw ball. It's not really that hard. Tired of it, man. Get Marsh and get friggin' Bohm the hell out of here. Luzardo trade is so far working out. Yes, absolutely, Star Wars. It is. We definitely have a solid 3, maybe a solid 4, maybe a solid 2 in our rotation. Absolutely. The Phillies lost the game. No, Ricky, they did not. They won. Broke the losing streak in the process. Well, you're definitely being. Oh, you haven't seen anything yet, big boy. That's right, man. Logan O'Hoppe for Brandon Marsh. Man, burns my ass every time I see it. Then again, I think O'Hoppe struck out like 5 times last night. Not that I'm watching California Angel baseball. Actually, I am, because there's like a lot of prospects that are currently residing on the Angels teams that I've been following. Samuel Algardari, that pitcher, the only Italian-born pitcher ever hit Major League Baseball, or the second one ever that the Phillies traded last year in the Carlos Estevez trade. Another potentially bad trade. 2025 Sanchez equals 2025 Nola. People need to chill on Romano. Listen. It's a big surgery to deal with. We need more youth. Yeah, listen, Steve, I agree with you. I know people are calling for Romano's head, and they should be calling for Romano's head based on his performances out of the gate. But you're right, and I've taken that process with him as well. You know, big time surgery. It's going to take time, and trust me. And honestly, Steve, being in this bullpen, being with this manager, being in this system, is that really helping out Jordan Romano? Not having a role, a defined role. I'm saying, you know, I just went on a 5-minute tirade about mental stability and who cares about mental resets and all that. But there's a difference between that and then just kind of violating everything there is about baseball, because pitchers and baseball players are creatures of habits. And yeah, I'm telling you, and I don't care. And this is something that I've said from the beginning, and I'll keep saying it. As long as there's no roles in this bullpen, we're never winning a World Series. I see very clear to that. I'm not moving off that ever, because when it comes down to it, you know, are we really sure that we're never going to see Joe Ross again in the 8th inning? I'm just saying, man. To me, it's terrible. But you're right. I think you need to kind of chill with Romano a little bit. He's pitched well the last couple times out. We'll see how it rolls. As far as Sanchez or Sanchez being greater than Nola, so far it looks kind of that way. Nola has not pitched well 3 starts into the season. And then we got the excuse train going. As a matter of fact, let me bring that up, because this next little segment of the show, and you know I'm going to do this because you're on my ass already. This segment of the show is brought to you by Big Al's Excuse Emporium. That's right. Big Al's Excuse Emporium, serving your reality-deprived or reality your issues with dealing with Philadelphia sports reality since the summer of 2024. If you can't wrap your head around an issue with one of your Philadelphia sports teams, don't worry, you don't have to. We here at Big Al's Excuse Emporium are here to service you since the summer of 2024. New for 2025, aisle 3. Aaron Nola doesn't pitch well until the temperatures rise above 70 degrees. That's right, folks. If you're having issues with dealing with Aaron Nola's early season struggles, and you can't fathom that the figure that he might be hurt, or that it might be kind of deteriorating in a skill set, don't worry. You don't have to. Not here at Big Al's Excuse Emporium. Oh no, aisle 4. Aaron Nola doesn't pitch well until the temperature raises over 70 degrees. Come on in today and bring the kids. We have it all. So we hope to see you soon down here at Big Al's Excuse Emporium, established in 2024. So does that answer your question, Steve? Oh, man, I love this job. Why isn't it Gabriel Raccoon Jr. being brought up? The same question I like to ask about Mike is, why isn't Otto Kemp? You know, I said at the beginning of the season, before it's all said and done with, before we put our little heads to bed on the 2025 season, 1, 2, maybe 3, possibly 4 Phillies prospects will have a thumbprint on this season in some way. I don't know who it is or how many of them, but you're looking, and we talked about this on my final word the other night, you know, You brought the question up about why the system does not generate any kind of major league ready talent. We kind of went over the reasons, and we mentioned Clintack and McPhail about 30 times. But right now, we are in a position. We are budding in a position where there's some talent that is now starting to sort of push through the surface, right? And get an attempt to play. Rick Hones Jr. is one of them. Otto Kemp, Justin Crawford, and then Andrew Painter as he works his way back. There's 4 players right there that I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised to see them serve some sort of role on this team before it's all said and done with. And now I know we don't do the 40-man roster September call-ups anymore. We go from 26 to 28, whatever that is. And I know you're not going to be able to see them that way, but I'm telling you, and I think Crawford, Al mentioned it last night on the final. I think with the Crawford thing, they're just trying to hold on to where they can save a year of Crawford's 7-year service time. I think they want to get past that 71-day threshold where they can save a year on Crawford if they can. But as Marsh goes out and can't produce offensively, as Rojas goes out night after night and can't produce offensively, it might have to, Dombrowski might have to show his cards sooner than later. But that's, I think, what the plan is for center field. As far as Racone's coming out and playing left or right, why not? Let's see how that works. But they're probably going to look at Racone's Jr. sort of as more of we have some time here because we can kind of get by with Kepler and we can get by with Castellanos. Kepler's a 1-year deal guy, probably will be gone next year. Castellanos is on the last year, will be coming in 26 to his last year of his contract. Racone's will probably be more of a 2026 call-up or a 2026 potential roster spot. But I'd be okay with it. I mean, right now, I would take any of the players that we have that are pushing for some time at the major league level over Cody Clemens. What is Cody Clemens doing for this team? What does he do here? I mean, he hasn't really played at all. He's like 5 at bats. I mean, he's just kind of hanging out, right? I mean, the best job in the world. But but I agree with you. I think that the time is coming, Michael, where they cannot keep these guys away anymore. The question with O'Hoppe is whether or not he would have excelled at the same level splitting time with JT. Same reason Marchand was not fully up here earlier. Need more playing time. Yeah, I mean, there's something to that. There is. But with the O'Hoppe situation, right? So he comes in, he gets traded in 22, finishes out the 22 season, deals with an injury throughout. He gets hurt at the end of 22, deals with an injury most of 23. Right, Steve? Deals with an injury most of 23. Kind of comes back at the end of 23 and is at the major league level for the Angels because they have nothing else. I see what you're saying, but I would have found a way to make that work. Maybe we get Stubbs out of here a year earlier, right? I understand, and people are going to say, well, Logan O'Hoppe was blocked. Not really. He was blocked because you allowed him to be blocked. And I'm not saying you move on from JT, or you should have moved on from JT. But there was no... You could have stashed O'Hoppe. Don't forget, O'Hoppe got called up or got traded at AA. He was traded when he was with AA in 22. You could have drugged your feet on him through 23. And then maybe last year you'd be getting a little bit antsy with him. But you could have made it work. You definitely could have made it work. I think Nola is possibly hurt. Al, you might have something to it. What, his velo's down to 91, 89? I mean, that's bad. That's bad. You might be right. Nola needs to work his way out of this. And Al said, you know what? He might be hurt. And that's a good point. That is a very good point. All right, let me break away from the comments real quick because let me get into the box scores on this day. This beautiful Saturday afternoon in St. Louis. Crappy where I'm at. On the day, the Phillies would finish with 4 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. Cardinals with 1 run, 9 hits, and no errors. Offensive standouts for the fighting Phillies. Nick Castellanos gets my offensive player of the game right off the bat. The big 2-out double in the first inning. They give the Phillies a 2-0 lead. Turns out the game-winning runs, as the Phillies would only limit the Cardinals to 1. On the afternoon, Castellanos 3 for 4, 2 RBIs. The big knock in the very first inning. Now raises average up to a healthy 308. As Nick Castellanos continues to battle his way out, and a good bounce back from the 5 strikeout debacle a couple nights ago. So he is my offensive player of the game. Other offensive standouts, I mean, Harper and Schwarber batting in that 3 and 4. Lovely, beautiful. I mean, it works on the show 21. When I played the show, the Phillies, Harper's batting third, Schwarber's batting fourth. I got Turner leading off, and I got Bohm batting second. Now, Bohm on my game is batting like 368, and he's got 45 doubles, and we're in like August of the season I'm playing in right now. Now, of course, I understand that Bohm ain't the Bohm that we're watching, but batting Harper third and batting Schwarber fourth makes too much sense to anybody out there that knows anything about baseball. But yet it eludes the Phillies for all these years. But the two of them together worked really well, as Schwarber also was able to get a hit and 2 walks today. So I said it earlier. I think what's going to happen with this Phillies team is until the other players figure themselves out, Rob Thompson's going to protect Schwarber and Harper inside that lineup at all costs and try to ride off of them, and hopefully things grow out from there. As far as Mr. Bohm, he was 1 for 4. He didn't have a hit, but he also struck out, was it twice? Marsh was 0 for 2, but he scored a run because he got on base. He walked, but he also struck out twice. Marsh is now batting 118, and Bohm is batting 158 for the St. Louis Cardinals, thanks to a masterful, good effort. I didn't mean to say masterful, but a good effort by Chris Sanchez. Really limited the damage, spread out the damage from the Cardinals. It was Contreras with the RBI. He did have a 2-hit day, so Contreras 2 for 4 on the day with the RBI. Pitching wise, Sanchez 6 1/3, 8 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, 95 pitches through 6 1/3. You're not going to sell me on that being effective, but that was effective enough. He lowers or raises the ERA to 3.12, and he gets the win. Kirkring with the hold. Romano comes in and pitches a good, clean. He gives up a hit, though, but he pitched a good inning. And then Alvarado with his 3rd save of the year as the Phillies get the 4-1 win. As for the Cardinals, Mikolas, 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, 82 pitch count. His ERA coming into this game was north of 11, like 11.25. It lowered it to 9. Matz, Munoz, and King all came in losing efforts for the Cardinals. Scoring summary, Castellanos, the big 2-out double in the first, scoring Harper and Schwarber. Then Stott would double in Marsh in the 5th to make it 3-0. Contreras would pull the Cardinals back to 3-1 in the 6th with the single, and then Turner knocks in Bohm in the 7th inning. 4-1, your final score. Phillies were 2 for 10 with runners in scoring position, left 7 on base. And the Cardinals left 6 on base and were 2 for 7 on the day with runners in scoring position. And the Phillies also turned an astonishing 5 double plays in support of their victory this afternoon over the St. Louis Cardinals, 4-1, their 9th win of the season, and Matty B's 5th win as the host of the Fightins Final, and now 5-1 on the season doing this job. So all's well that ends well. Contract year, Kyle continues to show why the Phillies should extend him now. Disagree 100%, Star Wars. Disagree 100%. And those might be famous last words. I don't know. If you're looking at some of the Phillies that are coming up with contracts, let's use the 3 of them, JT, Kyle, and Nick Castellanos. Which one out of those 3, if you only signed one, would you re-sign? Yeah, right now. I mean, I got to give Schwarber a lot of credit. Since last year, the man has been constantly getting me off his back, hitting to average, hitting well above his weight. And I'm not going to say anything. I haven't really been, it's actually been weird not being so negative towards Kyle Schwarber. He's given me absolutely nothing to be negative about for going on now 2 seasons. So I don't know. 2 years? 3 years? Does Kyle Schwarber think he's worth a 7-year max deal? Does he want one of those 11-year things? I mean, I'm not prepared to give him anything more than 3. If we could get a 3-year deal for $30 million, I'd do it, right? 3 years, $30 million. Would Kyle Schwarber accept 3 years for $30 million? But I'd do that. Other than that, I don't know, man. I'm not comfortable with 5. I'm not comfortable with 5. 3 is the most I'll go. I'd be really comfortable with 2. Or maybe even a year. I don't know. Not comfortable with 5, though. Nolan is turning 32, but his arm has 35 or 36 years worth of mileage on it. I've always worried about his elbow, but he takes the ball every 5th day, Steve. And yes, as Big Al's Excuse Emporium is selling on aisle 4 today, Nola doesn't pitch well until the temperature raises above 70. You kind of have to wait here, right? I mean, Nola's earned at least that. Nola's earned some patience from the Philly fan base. I mean, I get it. His career is, when it's all said and done with, is going to be one of those up and down in between Hamels and Carlton. He's a in between Hamels and Carlton kind of pitcher for this team throughout his time here. And I see what you're saying, but the fact that he's there every fifth day and we don't have to worry about filling that spot, get it. It's not necessarily what you want to hear right now, but as far as the elbow goes and as far as the 35 or 36 years mileage on it, there's something to that. There absolutely is something to that. 4 home runs he's given up so far in 3 starts. There's something to that. You're right. OV, you didn't watch me yesterday. I did watch you yesterday. Absolutely watched you yesterday. I watch everything on my network. So are we supposed to pull Nola from an October start? Yes, that's aisle 10. But that's not until the holidays. That's a holiday special. That's a Halloween giveaway. All right. That's our Halloween giveaway at Big Al's Excuse Emporium. Oh man, Rico is still at a point where he needs playing time. But if someone gets hurt 100%, you bring Rico up. Yeah, I think you do. And he's a corner outfielder, so it's kind of crowded there for him right here. You're right; he needs to play every day, but he's killing it down there. He's been killing it in every level of the minor leagues. I know, and again, we talked about this on my show earlier in the week that especially when it comes to the Dodgers and the Braves, somebody gets hurt, they just go to the minor leagues and pluck another apple off the tree. And why can't the Phillies do that? And then we kind of went over some of the reasons. And as I said, McPhail and Clentak were tops of that list, and yes, so was Ruben. But finally, after all these years of spitting out the Stotts and the Bohms of the world, now it looks like we're getting ready to cultivate some apples here. So the Phillies are going to have to make some decisions very soon within the next 2 to 3 years about a lot of young players because you can't have first of all, you can't have Nick Gable pitching 10 years in the minor leagues. You can't have that. So they're going to have to make some decisions about some people real soon. And that's a great problem to have if you trust Dave Dombrowski not to blow up the minor leagues. But it's a good problem to have in general. Who in the Phillies minor leagues outside of Crawford is ready to come up? We've just been talking about it. Gabriel Racones Jr., man. Check him out. Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. Left fielder. Friggin' raking, man. Raking. I'd say he's about it right now. You can make a case for a few other guys. I guess I can only make a case for him. Yeah. I would say, GBR Jr., man. Clemens is a first baseman. We don't need him. Clemens is a utility infielder. Yes, we do need him. We need him when we're down 19-4, and he has to come in and pitch in the 8th inning. We absolutely need him because we got rid of Stott, who did that. Crawford is experiencing the veteran pitching wall and a little in AAA. I was a big proponent of bringing him up, but I think letting him spend some time in AAA was the right thing to do. Listen, Steve, but let's look at this thing from a Philadelphia Phillies standpoint. How much more time or how much more patience do we have with the problem in center field? If they can continue to win despite the play of Marsh and Rojas, okay. But when the wins or the losses start to pile up, at some point, you drafted this kid in the first round. You drafted him there. And he's in AAA for a reason. And yeah, he might be hitting the wall a little bit, but I think, and Al, again, to say that, to give you some ideas that I did watch your show. What could be worse than what Marsh and Rojas provide you offensively right now? What could be worse? How much worse could it be with Crawford? And don't give me that you're going to break them, you're going to get them all scared and upset. You can't. No, I'm not listening to that nonsense. So what could be worse? Absolutely. I like having Stott, Marsh, Turner in consecutive order. It's 2 years too late, like a lot of things in this organization. I do like having Stott, Marsh, and Turner in consecutive order. Ugh. Really? A lot of Bohm detractors may wind up eating same sandwiches as the Cassidy detractors, but overall, Boehmer really is in his head right now. While winning, Phillies can't afford to let him figure it out. What exactly are you thinking Alec Bohm is going to be, Steve? I want to know, and this goes to a lot of Alec Bohm people out there. He can't defensively. He's a liability at third base. Let's just say that. He's not he's a liability, right? Offensively, since the home run derby, he's been terrible. And it's not been 14 games that I think the patience has run out on him. It's a whole half a season plus 14 games. The man was benched in the playoffs, Steve. What do you think Alec Bohm is? Because it's probably the same thing that people think Brandon Marsh is going to be. You know what it is? It's Big Al's excuse emporium, aisle 6, right? Shattered dreams of potential expectations of players. Now, I'm not saying Justin Crawford's going to come up here and be Carl Crawford. I'm not saying Justin Crawford's going to come up here and be a reincarnation of Shane Victorino and Lenny Dykstra. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that Brandon Marsh is going to be nothing. And moving Crawford into that stay, if you had to today, I'd be fine with it because it's better than what we're getting. And the same thing goes right now for Alec Bohm. At what point do you say enough is enough? And I know you're going to throw back the Nick Castellanos thing. 162 games the man played last year. And for the first 93 of them, he was swinging like he was chopping trees. I understand that. I get that. All right. But so do we have to go through it every season? Are you telling me that we got to go through? I mean, July's coming. July's only in a couple months. So is that the 1 year mark on Bohm? Because it's been almost a year now that we've been struggling with this guy. It's not been 14 games. It's been a half of 2024 plus 14. So at what point is enough for Alec Bohm? Alec Bohm is nothing, right? And he's coming up to his contract year. I'm just saying. I would be 100% okay if they traded him tonight. 100%. He's getting older. Yeah. Schwarber, the DH, has more time to concentrate on hitting now. Hopefully it continues to translate. I may do a 3 for 45 with Schwarbs. Really? 3 for 45? Woo! All guaranteed? Or a lot of money up front? I'll do money up front, but not guaranteed. I would do that. Money up front, no guarantee. And no trade debt. And no trade clause. Clemens is not his dad. No, but he pitches well in those late innings. Don't forget, Garrett Stubbs was our late inning guy that we threw in there when it was 23-2, and we needed someone to pitch. And that's what Clemens is going to be. Because he's enough of his dad to throw a 75-mile-an-hour fastball in the ninth inning down 25-3. All right, let's head back now to the show. Let's go to our Broad Street bottom line. Yeah, the Broad Street bottom line here on the Fighting's Final on the It's a Wrap Sports Network. Today sponsored and brought to you by the Final Word with Matty B, the quintessential final word and last stop of your Philadelphia Sports Day entertainment every Sunday through Thursday night at 10 p.m. here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network with yours truly as the host. And today's Broad Street bottom line is simply put, do all you can do to protect Harper and Schwarber inside this lineup until you can figure out what we're doing. And again, it's friggin' April. This should have been figured out back in January. But until you figure out what this lineup is going to be and how it's going to be constructed or structured, who's not going to be here or who is going to be here, and who can knock himself out of their season-long slump or season-and-plus slump, until you can figure all that, do everything you have to do to protect Harper and Schwarber with inside the Phillies lineup, because that's all you got right now, and you gotta do, and you gotta take advantage of that. So that means no more Schwarber leading off. No more of that until things work itself out. Schwarber 4, Harper 3, and then everybody else, and then probably I could put Castellanos 5, but do what you got to do to protect Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber up inside that lineup. And that today is your Broad Street bottom line. And again, today, that Broad Street bottom line was brought to you by the P&M and the AM show. Coming back 3 weeks from tomorrow, 22 days from now, the P&M and the AM show will return to the airwaves on the It's a Wrap Sports Network. Be there or be Pat Bernard. So make sure you're there. Oh, man. Oh, God. That's blowing me up here. A lot of bone detractors. Players getting older. Schwartz, DH. Clemens, not as dad. I don't know whether to credit Nola for toughing it out and pitching through discomfort, or if he really should be missing a start. If he's hurt, he needs to miss a start. If he is hurt, he needs to miss a start, and then we need to see some Mick Abel starting for the Phillies. If he's hurt, he needs to miss a start. That drop by Stott was bad. Yeah, but listen, that's all Stott does for me is defense. I can live with that. What I need to see from Nola as he matures is to stop nibbling and start pitching better to contact. It's what he's protected to. It's what he was projected to, and I think would be catch less heat from the fan base. And that's where he usually gets in trouble, right, Steve? When he nibbles, right, or when he goes up inside the zone with 85 miles an hour. But you're right. If we have the aggressive Aaron Nola, but Aaron Nola lives on the breaking stuff, Steve. I mean, that's the kind of pitcher Nola's been. It's always been that breaking crap. And yeah, he's always a live on the outside edge or inside edge of a plate kind of guy. I know what you're saying, but he needs to find a better way. But maybe he can't. Maybe the velocity is damaged, and also and that's the only way he can keep going. But yeah, it's concerning, especially 2 years into that big 7-year contract. Some players peak at 27, 28. I fear Bohm has, but the clock is ticking. Bohm is done, man. He's garbage of the hot variety. Schwarber is cleanup. Seriously, I really think Nola has become too strikeout dependent in his career. He was way better pitcher to contact. Now it's just too. No, you're right, Steve. There's something not right about Nola this year. And maybe it's injury, and maybe it's the web. Maybe there is something to the fact that he just can't get comfortable in 45-degree temperatures. And potentially that's not an excuse. I mean, that's real. I'll give you that. But because I sure as hell can't get comfortable out there in 45-degree weather. We got to wait and see. He's earned that. Nola has earned that from us. Let him work his way out of this problem. And if he's hurt, then he needs to sit. But we need him. We need Nola. As much as people might think we don't, we need Nola to eat innings at least. All right, let's head around the bases. Yeah, we're going to go around the bases on this beautiful Saturday afternoon in Major League Baseball. It was the Phillies over the Cardinals 4-1 at the Lou. Top of the seventh, it is 8-4 Yankees over the Giants, who are going to be making their way into Philadelphia after they leave the Bronx on Monday. It is 3-2 in the top of the sixth. Blue Jays over the Baltimore Orioles down there in Camden Yards. It is 2-0. The New York Mets losing to the Athletics in Sacramento. As I guess the A's are getting used to their new digs. It is 2-0 Rays over the Braves in Steinbrenner Field down in Tampa. And it is 4-3 Marlins over the Nationals, bottom of the fifth in South Beach. 2-0 Red Sox over the White Sox in the bottom of the fifth from Comiskey. I know was this U.S. Cellular Field, what they call that out there. Games that are now, or a little bit later on tonight, it'll be Kansas City in Cleveland, Pittsburgh in the Natty. The Angels, led by Logan O'Hoppe, is heading to the deep of the heart of Texas and Houston. It is Milwaukee in Arizona, Colorado in those god-awful City Connect uniforms. I really thought the Phillies, that nobody could outdo the Phillies City Connects until listen, if you haven't seen these things, the Rockies' new City Connect uniforms, please head over to our Twitter page. They're right there for you to see. It's a monstrosity. It makes the Phillies uniforms look really good, but terrible. Way too much thought is being put into these City Connects. Listen, the only two teams that I've seen that get it right, or I've seen 4 teams get it right: Pirates, Cardinals, Astros, and Orioles. Everyone else is messed up on this whole thing. But the Rockies will be in San Diego later tonight. 9 o'clock, it's the Cubs in L.A., and it is the Rangers in Seattle. And another game that's gone final. It was 4-0, the Tigers over the Twins in Minnesota. And there's your round the bases for this Saturday afternoon. As far as this game goes, or as far as tomorrow, it will be Zach Wheeler going against Matthew Liberatore in the rubber match of this series, the getaway game, if you will. The Phillies will wrap up their road trip tomorrow and before heading back home to play the Giants in a 4-game set at the bank starting on Monday. On the Fighting's Final tomorrow, it'll be your boy, Mike Laro. He will finish you up, and he will also be the purveyor of the Down on the Philly Farm segment. So you better hold him to a high standard, man, because this is all my hard work that he's going to be telling you about. So make sure you quiz him as he's talking to you about the minor leagues. But he'll have you tomorrow, and then we'll have the Giants series coming up on Monday. So seriously, I think that's it right there. As long as it's effortless, I guess Painter hitting 100 is an okay thing, especially off TJ at such an early age. I don't get the 100 inning limit 2 years post-surgery. I don't either. Maybe Tommy John has gotten to a point where everybody should get it. Is it like the kid from Rookie of the Year where, his tendons grew together and he can throw a frozen rope from the bleachers? Is it like that now? Who knows? Maybe it is, but he looked good. I watched all his inning in the third, and he looked really, really, really good. I expect a 50-ish pitch limit game in 5. I think one more start in Clearwater for him, and then at about a 50-ish pitch count, and then pop him up into the north, up into Jersey Shore, potentially Reading, for like I'm not going to say an unlimited friggin' start, maybe like a 70 pitch limit. And then after that, 2 more starts of just throwing and pitching as much as he can. And that should take us to about the early July point and have a good gauge on where he stands and whether or not he's going to the Phillies. But so far, so good. He was dominant down there. I mean, low A, but he looked really good. I need the other nut to drop for Kirk for him to prove he can handle the heat. Yeah. Said it in pregame or preview. He's key out there in that bullpen. And that bullpen without rolls, Kirkering is key. Yep, Henry Rowan-Gardner. That's right. Maybe that's what's going on with Painter. With the, I wonder if his arm makes that noise. I love it. All right, listen, guys. Thank you very much. That's going to wrap us up. Phillies 4-1 winners, 9-5 now on the young season. As I said, I am now 5-1 as your host of the Fighting's Final. We're going to belay the Matty B Fighting's Final stat pack for the day. Let some of these numbers marinate and get worse before I start talking about them. But make sure you're back with us tomorrow. A big day on the network, 9 a.m. The wraparound with Pat Bernard. I'll have you for your Sunday morning. And then a little bit later on in the afternoon, post-Phillies game, it's the Fighting's Final with Mike Laro. And then tomorrow night at 10 p.m., I will be returning for the final word as we will get our week started here on the It's a Wrap Sports Network. Outstanding stuff, and can't wait to get the week happening. Phil's definitely got 6 though, right? Yeah, he's out of the league, right? Yeah, no, they got that trade right. Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely. I wasn't in favor of that move either, but it worked out. It worked out. I give you credit, Al. It worked out. All right. Again, that's going to wrap me up. You guys have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your tomorrow. And I got to hear from one more person before we go. And you know who that is. Harry the K. What you got?